Welcome to the Blessed Teach Show. This is Rick, your host, here on Monday, November 4th. And we are talking about another awesome Trump rally where many people behind him are wearing these shirts that say, "Read the transcript." Obviously talking about the transcript they released, which is unprecedented of releasing a private phone call with the Ukrainian president, or with any president for that matter. And that just threw the deep state plan for impeachment out the window, but they're still trying. So they have a impeachment hoax number 4, if you will. They got the Russia hoax. They had the FBI investigation, the whole the incomplete entrapment plan from the beginning. The hammer going all the way back to before 2015 that's going to come out, and we're going to see D-Class and Durham and some exciting things happening here. But again, this is the Blessed Teach Show on November 4th. We got quite a few people here. We got, I guess, Sublimator was first, and then Caffeine Addict, thank you, and Ken from New Zealand, and Joseph from Indiana. Appreciate that. Where else are we? Got Colorado Springs, Ken Romanow. Thank you guys for being here. Central Texas, Tulsa. Let's get rolling here because we have a lot. We have a little bit that Gene has let me know before he leaves on his op mission. But one of the most exciting things I saw today was that at the rally, you'll see attendees to President Trump in Lexington, Kentucky wear T-shirts that say, "Read the transcript." You can see it right here. Read the transcript. Read the transcript. In reference to President Trump's call with Ukraine. I thought that was just hilarious. Here's another person that said on vote.go, "POTUS rally just now, or maybe 17 years, he said." So you're sure he talks about, maybe I'll be here another 21 years, or maybe 17 years. And here's the actual clip where he said 17. It's a little 5-second clip that I found on In the Matrix. Giving props to In the Matrix here. Here it is.
Or maybe 17 years.
So it's about 20.
Or maybe 17 years.
There you go. Some people couldn't find that clip, but In the Matrix had it on his Twitter account. So there's another just hat tip to QAnon right there, as well as just really giving the triggering mechanisms to the fake stream media. That is for sure. Here we have another deal before where we brought Paul Rand up, and Paul Rand was very bold. Listen to what Paul says.
Family connections. We also now know the name of the whistleblower. The whistleblower needs to come before Congress as a material witness because he worked for Joe Biden at the same time Hunter Biden was getting money from corrupt oligarchs. I say tonight to the media, do your job and print his name.
Pretty bold. That's Paul Rand for you. So he's getting extremely bold, and obviously a huge supporter of the president, even though he can have his own ways. Now here is the sponsor of this episode, Noble Gold. Again, there's an 877 number here, right here, that you can see. But I just think this is a smart plan, guys. When you look at the nature of the stock market and what a gold IRA can do for you. And you might not know much about Holland, but it's one of the world's greatest trading nations and has been involved in commerce for hundreds of years. The Dutch National Bank now holds over $20 billion worth of gold in its vaults, which are scattered around the world for safety. It has recently been buying more, and on its website says that gold always retains value, crisis or no crisis. They are expecting trouble, big financial trouble, and maybe you should be too. Will your personal IRA can't still hold their value in the financial meltdown? If you don't know the answer to this, you don't have ownership and control of your own retirement savings. This leaves you at the mercy of the markets, and that's not a great place to be if it all goes wrong. So many people got their financial hands burned in the last big turndown. If this is you and you expect to see yourself to stay safe, do yourself a favor and not put all your hopes in Washington and the Fed. Find out how you can secure your IRA and 401k, get a tax break. A tax break control by calling Noble Gold at 877-646-5347 or hit the like button and learn about gold video series. Call again 877-646-5347 and ask to speak to a representative today, and make sure you tell them that Blessed to Teach sent you. Again, secure your family's fortune and get a tax break with a gold IRA. Again, you can click down below in the YouTube video, or you can see it here on the screen, 877-646-5347. All right, some pretty exciting things as well. If you see, the Washington Nationals came to the White House instead of boycotting like some of the idiotic teams that have in the past, and it gave Trump the big 45 jersey and all that. And here is a little bit of a surprise that happened. Listen to this.
Come here, say a couple words. Come on.
I love you all. I love you all. Thank you.
So there you go. He put a Make America Great hat on again. That's kind of surprising with all the politics and what that can mean. Here's a meme that I just thought was awesome. By the way, memes are just a great way to communicate, guys. If you want to really join this movement and really have power, get on your social media and meme. It's offense time, people talking about. So if only the Bidens hadn't taken in millions of bribes, President Trump wouldn't have gotten into trouble for asking about it. Just a funny meme that just shows how crazy things have gotten here. But let's go over here where you're looking at I just love going to Twitter. If you go to Twitter and you go to this account right here, it's Blessed to Teach. You'll see I've got the Betsy Ross flag here, and follow me here, right? And I forward a lot of articles each time and showing you exactly a lot of stuff what I show you now. But like, here's another one that says November 5th, memes locked on target, fire when ready. High priority targets today, tomorrow. Where we go one, we go all. And this was a November 5th, 2018 drop. But again, we have these yearly deltas sometimes. So I think this is more people like Praying Medic just encouraging us to use our memes to our power. It can really help wake people up. We've been talking a lot about that, right? And so it's just awesome if you can use the memes from other people's Twitter accounts or from other people's Facebook accounts. I know a lot of people don't have them that are in this, that have been awoke to the spying they're doing on us, but I like to use social media against them. You know, my I guess philosophy on all this. So I'd encourage you guys to, just go create a Twitter account, create a Facebook account that you don't care that they're not going to be spying on you because you're not really using it for that. You're using it just to meme. Follow a bunch of people you want to try to wake up and meme the heck out of it. It's a great way, I think, to make progress. Here's Project Veritas. Thought this was weird. It said, it's official. Epstein cover-up is now trending in the United States. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., we take it to number 1. Stay tuned. Epstein cover-up, Epstein cover-up, Epstein cover-up, Epstein cover-up, Epstein cover-up. So I guess they're going to have something tomorrow on this, from Project Veritas, which does good work. So that's going to be real interesting about the Epstein cover-up. Now, based on what we heard from SB2, that they just faked the whole thing and basically got him out of Dodge, and that he is squealing and talking, and it's just going to be strengthening all the cases. It'll be interesting. Now, hey, I've got a lot of people, not a lot of people, I just had somebody email me about Alex Jones, and it happened to be a bunch of stuff on Alex Jones on Vote.co. So I thought I would just bring the subject up again because I know it's kind of it can be a divisive topic. But Q's made it really clear that he's Mossad, made it really clear that he's controlled opposition. And so I just want to show you what other people are saying and a bunch of links that you have for your purposes. It says Alex Jones has one main job. His main purpose is to make anyone that questions the MSM narrative a crazy conspiracy theorist. For example, you believe Satanists rule the world? You're one of those crazy Alex Jones conspiracy theorists, you idiot. Now the sheep, reading and listening, write you off as a kook. Very effective psychological warfare tactic. This is part of what controlled opposition could be. Remember, Vladimir not Putin, but Vladimir Lenin from the USSR, vicious man who killed millions of people, said the best way to control the opposition is to lead it. Right? I think I have it right here. There it is. Here's Vladimir Lenin. Again, an evil man said the best way to control the opposition is to lead it ourselves. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about Alex Jones. And so he acts crazy, yells, and on very important things he caves in on. He caves in on Q. He caved in on the whole Pizzagate thing. He caved in on Syria. He caves in on various times. So it's important to understand that, again, a lot of people have been red-pilled by Alex Jones on the 70-80% of the true information he gives out. But the question is, you never know what that 15 or 20% is that he is disinformation on, that they're protecting the Mossad on, what many people would call the Zionist. So it would be interesting. Okay, so here's somebody saying, they had a dream about me. I better read that first before I do it out loud. That's funny. Charles Peck says, Rick, I had a dream about you last night. You were at a conference in Spring Hill, Florida. We ended up at my house where you did the show with my equipment. That'd be awesome. Charles Peck. That's funny. But anyway, this is exactly what they're doing with Alex Jones. Here is, now there's somebody that was actually talking good about Alex because he was attacking Hillary. But again, most people would say that's probably not the smartest thing to do. That's why you won't see a lot of Alex Jones on this board normally. But this person clearly put in 9 times Q has called out Alex Jones. So here's a link to all these Q drops: 2123, 1341, 1865, 2101, 1366, 2091, 1340, and 1343. Right, and here's another one. Q says AG is Mossad backed, and this is 2089. Sorry, guys. You can tell I'm in a hotel. I'm real busy, but I decided to kind of knock this out. I wanted to kind of go over some things with you guys. So here's where they had all this stuff that was a fake hit on Q. But here's where he says, ask yourself a simple, logical question. Why are the majority of Q attacks by pro-MAGA supporters coming from AJ, Alex Jones? MOS backed? I'm pretty sure that's Mossad. And or AJ known associates. Why are we a threat to them? Why not simply publish an original picture plus minus 1, 2, 3 seconds to establish credibility? Why was this done in the past? We knew this type of attack was coming. Predictable. Fake news. Attacks will only intensify. And this was all the way back on September of 2018. But again, if you want to go really see, here you will have this in your show notes. Again, you go to blessed2teach.com, blessed with the number 2, teach.com, to get the show notes. You can sign up for them, and I'll email them to you as well. But you can go through each one of these and actually see where Alex Jones and associates trying to deceive and divide you. Right, this is a whole nother post about it. That's the summary. I'll just read the summaries on these real quick because I won't be able to go through them all. But here's 1341, Alex Jones, a LARP, time to move on. And here is 1865, Alex Jones, an actor. And you'll see actors will act. We target MC. MC targets Q. Strategic. We are in control. But anyway, Q made it extremely clear that he's not a person you can trust, right? And I tell you what, I totally wrote Alex Jones off when I saw on video he and Corsi lying to me about what I knew was true about Q, saying that he was now controlled by the CIA, etc. And since I studied Q in detail since late November or maybe early December of 2017, and I'd read every single post multiple times and been reporting on it. You can't lie to red pillars, right? So here's Alex Jones and Jerome Corsi tied to URSUP Q, or tried to URSUP Q. That was another one there. I think I might have been at 1865. I'm not sure. Now that was the actor one. And then here's 2091 was another one. Jerome Corsi and Alex Jones, flunky is subpoenaed in Mueller investigation. Again, these are the summaries. You can go read the detail yourself. And then you'll see 1340. The Infowar against Q, Jones and Corsi. There's a whole Reddit article here about it. And I think this might be, I can't remember if this was SB2 or not on the whole Reddit thing. Oh, it looks like the Great Awakening has been banned. I forgot. That's right. That was on the Great Awakening site that they took down. So obviously there was a lot of detail about the I think that might have been the long and secret InfoWars against Q and how. I think that might have been an SB2 post. You could probably find that if you go research and look at SB2, etc. But I just want to make sure everyone knows that Alex Jones cannot be trusted. Misinformation attacks on Q to get worse. Jones, Corsi, others. Right? And those are just the summaries. Again, you can go look into details and think for yourself. That's what we want you to think for yourself. But here's Alex Jones apologized to James Alefantis. As I'm saying, he just totally caved in on something we know that is a huge story. And here we have Alex Jones. Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA. Obviously, the C_A works with the Mossad. Very careful. The whole rogue part of the CIA is there. Here's Bill Cooper on Alex Jones. Here's Alex Jones' lawyer says he's an actor. You can go look at that video. Alex Jones calls Q followers stupid ASS cult members. Says we will be framed for staged attacks. And we don't have time to go watch that whole video, but just the first part of it here, about 39 seconds, you'll see him call all of us pretty bad stuff here. Here we go.
Because you're talking to the president. I don't just talk to the president. My listeners got him elected. We're the dog. Trump's the tail. The American people are bigger than Trump. You stupid-ass Q cult members.
There he goes. And later in that video, you'll see him. And this isn't even the worst one. The worst one was by far he and Corsi sitting there lying to me about who Q was and actually trying to make Zach better than Q, which is a complete joke. And so Alex Jones calls the United States to preemptively nuke China and cause the apocalypse. Thank you, QMAP, for labeling this guy, right? And so I just think it's important. Here is in this players in the game, which is obviously this is QMAP.pub. Their assessment was he's a traitor and a pawn. Alex is an American radio show host and conspiracy theorist actor. Alex Jones and associates are backed by the Israeli Mossad, National Intelligence Agency. They are fake MAGA patriots, P-A-Y, controlled opposition, and fearful of Q, who is taking away their base. Again, controlled opposition is a very, very important thing to understand. It means that they are being paid. They're like double agents. They're as bad as the fake news media that's double agents. They're CIA paid as well as the NBC, CBS, all that other stuff, right? Washington Post, New York Times. They're all this Operation Mockingbird. Well, Alex Jones is part of that Operation Mockingbird. He's paid to take the conspiracy theory label and make us look stupid and then also protect them on certain points. That is why Lenin said the best way to control the opposition is to lead it ourselves. So what does it mean? It means that the Mossad and CIA are leading this red pill movement in some ways as far as Alex Jones for a while. But now the Q movement completely took him over. If you add up all the Q citizen journalists, as General Flynn would say, and all the anons, the digital soldiers, as General Flynn calls us all, we outnumber Alex Jones tremendously. So again, it's important from a perspective of understanding that evil people like Lenin, they are not dumb. They don't only control the newspaper to control your mind, they even control the opposition to themselves. So it's a very, very I guess a sophisticated way to control the thinking in a country. But it's breaking down. It's not working for them anymore. Hey guys, I did want to let you know that tomorrow, in 1 day and 11 hours, guess this would start on a Wednesday, so not tomorrow. I guess it would start at midnight on Tuesday night. But you have a chance to register for this free workshop I'm doing. And this is important: how to win and impact the ungodly world. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about this because, the deep state in the U.S. not only wants to control health care, like with socialized medicine. You know how much I'm against that after seeing my mom poisoned to death in a Mexican hospital because of the lack of care, because of them doing way too many things. They didn't have X-ray machines when we needed them. They didn't have enough surgeons when we needed emergency her health care got rationed. The pancreas that went bad in her poisoned her from within. And so to see the health care, this whole Medicare for all, it doesn't work. Socialized health care doesn't work. I've seen it firsthand myself, right? But the deep state also wants to control academia. They want to push socialism. They control the media. They control Hollywood. They control much of the government. Now they've moved even into our clergy, into the religious mountain. They've moved also into the cultural area of our family with transgenders, etc. And now they're teaching our children, our friends, and we the people that what is wrong is right and what is right is wrong. And our world continues to spiral in this downhill way. So I decided, as you know, to fight back with this channel and with the help of you guys, and really to give truth versus lies. And I think after a few months, I got real blessed with one of the videos getting over 250,000 views, and we've grown to, I think, like 63,000 now subscribers. It's slowly growing. I guess YouTube has not adjusted the algorithm since Gene and Mark Taylor really started helping me bring more viewers as we started getting a team. But when I started over the last year and a half listening to you guys, listening to your frustration, you guys were frustrated with culture. And that's the website you'd go to sign up for this. It's frustratedwithculture.com. You guys were frustrated with attacks on the family. Many of you feel that you can't protect your children from all these lies. Many of you are frustrated with the spiritual fog where people have forgotten about God and the righteous ways of living. Many of you are frustrated with the inability to wake up others to truth of the Word, and you feel disrespected, and some of you even feel lonely. Again, after hearing all this frustration from you and how many heartbreaking stories, from the Christian patriots that I love, and I knew that at this point in time, it was last year, that God was calling me to something bigger. He was calling me to something much bigger. So I created the Cultural Impact System. Again, it's because I believe in the power of one person working in the system can have massive impact in reversing the ungodly culture. And so right now I am working with many people just like you to move them from frustrated spectators to powerful impactors that are protecting the children, destroying this spiritual fog in this society, and also awakening others to the truth of this world. So in this seminar, I'm going to go through confirming your passion area, confirming your giftings, how to execute as an impactor team in this cultural impact system. Again, it's called How to Win and Impact the Ungodly World. You can register at frustratedwithculture.com. Some other things we'll go over is how you'll basically discover how to win by leveraging techniques on how to red pill friends and family slowly without being labeled a conspiracy theorist. You'll discover how to enjoy being able to red pill Christian patriot by teaming with others to win and make impact. I guess enjoy being a red pilled Christian patriot, right? You'll discover how to share godly truth with your children or friends despite the spiritual fog that the world has created. You'll discover techniques to grow your kids God's way despite the world trying to pull them away. You'll discover how to win by understanding how to take back the 7 mountains of cultural impact and how the progressives took them over, and much more. Again, and that's why in this, as you register, you're going to get a PDF on the 7 Mountains of Cultural Influence, because it's a guide for Christian patriots to better understand how the progressives took over the 7 mountains and how to fight back. So again, that all starts Wednesday. Again, I only bring in classes like 3 times a year. This will start around November 18th, but you get these free 4 video work series. You go to frustratedwithculture.com to sign up for the free workshop. All right. James O'Keefe, this is interesting. He also put something about this Jeremy Boring. So basically said, before this tragic suicide, sometime tomorrow morning, I knew James O'Keefe and admired his work. Right. And it's talking about that. And he says, dead man switch activated. So somehow James O'Keefe has something big coming out tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. Just realized I was covering up my... let me open that up. It's a little bit harder when I don't have my multiple screens, my 3 screens in my in my actual studio. But for those of you wanting to go backstage with me, I should be back in the studio on Thursday night. So Thursday night will be when I'm back in the studio, traveling quite a bit, as you know. Here's the March for Life. It says, did you know that 78% of women considering abortion choose life after seeing an ultrasound of their baby? That is big. That is pretty cool. Now here is, and that's why Planned Parenthood literally does everything in their power to avoid giving women ultrasounds. They are really enemy of women, if you really get down to it. They're an abortion factory, is what Planned Parenthood is. I'm so glad Trump is defunding them step by step here, but confronting them and getting them. In libel suits for what they've really done, I think is going to really be important, right? Here we got black employment hits a new low for the 6th time under Trump. Numbers like these are why the Democrats are obsessed with impeachment. When you can't talk about the economy, what can you talk about? I'm going to blow this text up for you guys. You can see here via Project 21, there are the latest and lowest black unemployment numbers. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics just released its October unemployment report, which shows a 3.6% overall employment rate, with black unemployment rate at a 5.4%. This is the lowest level recorded since the BLS began tracking jobless figures by race in 1972. According to the Project 21 analysis of BLS data, this is the 6th time the black jobless rate hit a new low during the Trump administration. Over the last decade, the highest level of black unemployment was 16.8% in March 2010. So just think about that. When you have 16.8, almost 17% unemployment back in 2010, the most recent decline in black unemployment began in February. Once again, unemployment for blacks in the U.S. has reached a record low. Trump's policies of deregulation and low taxation have created one of the best environments for job creation in a generation, said Project 21 co-chairman Horace Cooper. With Americans, black or white, have a job and are independent and self-sustaining, they are happier, their families are better off, and the economy booms. This is welcome change that should be applauded as well as maintained in the future. Previously, we had seen 5.5% unemployment. So this, again, going down to 5.4 was historic. There have never been more black and Hispanics Americans in the workforce. Friday's Labor Department job report showed. The jobless rate for Hispanic hit a record low of 3.9% in September, while African Americans maintained its lowest rate ever of 5.5%. Time to beat the drums for the impeachment. Some more. Isn't that right? So we know why the impeachment's really happening, because you got criminals trying to protect themselves. And they know they can't beat him in an election now, as they clean up the election fraud and as they start to wake up the people like Candace Owens doing the Brexit movement, etc., just doing a fantastic job. Here's the Gateway Pundit saying, it's official. The Dow is up 50%. That's 5-0 since Election Day 2016. 9,125 points. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all hit new records. Thank you, President Trump. So there you go. I tell you what, it's an economy. I'm here actually in the Wisconsin area, and I was talking to a bunch of people who live here, and they were saying it is just booming. You got Foxconn building this multi-million-dollar foot factory now to build glass screens, and they need sand. So they need sand from obviously off Lake Michigan, and they're just booming. So there's people moving out of Chicago right and left to take the jobs in Milwaukee. So a horribly run city of Chicago is dying off, right? While you got places like Milwaukee who are obviously it'd be really hard for anybody to beat Trump here because of the great economy that's happening. Here is the picture of what happened. We saw the video of this. That is pretty cool, isn't it? So if you back up to that, oh darn it, I hate it when it jumps all the way back like that. See if I can go forward. There, good. So we got Getty Images, and there's another picture there where he actually hugged the guy for putting on the hat. That was pretty cool. President Trump, I believe, gave us validation of Q being backed by saying the number 17 on today's rally. Yeah, DJ, I played that earlier in the show, actually. Now, here is Romney. Romney gets his just rewards. Only 18% of the Americans approve of Mitt Romney in a new Gallup poll, and 51% disapprove of Romney in Utah. So this is a pretty big deal because obviously they hired Mitt Romney. They elected Mitt Romney to be a positive Trump-supporting Republican, and he's showing his cabal colors completely. So you can see that is crazy. Going never Trumper is not working out very well for Mitt Romney. In an NBC News Wall Street Journal poll released Sunday shows that his net approval, very positive plus somewhat positive, has plunged to only 18% in the wake of his criticisms of President Trump. Most recently, his savaging of Trump over troop withdrawal from Syria in the face of the Democratic impeachment efforts. The poll has a margin error of 3% on a sample of 900 American adults. Here's the Gallup data of Mitt's approval since 2006. So it's really interesting. So you can go here and actually go to the link, and you can see October 27th to the 30th, 2019. Look at, he's at the very positive, is the lowest he's ever been, is a 2%. See, you can, if those of you can see the screen, he's gone from a high of 24% here. Looking at his very positive 24% in October of 2012 to 2%, right? Somewhat positive is at a pretty close low as well. So if you add these two together, obviously the 18 is incredibly, incredibly low, right? And very negative, coming way up as well, especially when you take somewhat negative and very negative together. So Mitt Romney's obviously got him caught. And if you looked at SB2 decode, it was amazingly shocking to see how Mitt literally was so corrupt that the Obama and the cabal basically supported Mitt, and Mitt was cabal anyway, but they supported him so that they could actually use the hammer to bribe him and then Mitt through the election. So we knew the cabal was going to win either way, but they wanted their Obama to actually put another 4 years into the 16-year plan to destroy America. So they didn't want Romney to win, even despite the bad economy back then, the worst recovery in U.S. history, right? And I wanted to show you one other thing that was kind of interesting. Gene sent me an email. He's about ready to head off to his op. So I don't think he's on here right now, but let me go to this right here. And he said, and we're talking about something else, but he said, an important item you might be able to put on that I did get information on. The talking about of Baghdadi, along with the prayer, stopped the next 9/11 type incident that was discussed, in which they were going down to blow up much of Seattle. There's a German decode on that. Even that was scheduled for yesterday. So this is real interesting from Gene, because we know In fact, I didn't put it on the show because I think the more you talk about, hey, there's going to be some false flagging on November 3rd in Seattle, right? That's what a lot of people were reporting on. And there's a lot of all the typical drills that they normally do was happening scheduled a few days before that. But I just think that puts that out into the spirit world. The more that we just pray against any big city, that's what Gene and I's strategy was, is to pray against any big city and to be safe. And the fact is that you see Gene basically saying that actually stopped the next 9/11 that was planned for Seattle. They have to stop something, right? So Free and Happy's going, I'm in Seattle. But yeah, there's a lot of articles out that I did not put on my show on purpose talking about that. And I'm just so happy that we are now past November 3rd. Seattle's fine. All the big cities are fine. And it looks like we might have escaped another huge incident. That is good news. Now, that was the bad news. I mean, the good news, I think, about Romney just shows never Trumpers, you are not going to do really well. When you and so we saw some of this type of stuff as well. Breaking: Hunter Biden, Ukraine gas firm urged Obama administration to end corruption allegations, a report says. So there's all kinds of things being shown here that just coming right back down to the real criminals are the Bidens and the Obamas here. And we're going to all find that out in more detail. And that's part of what they're trying to cover up, because they know, boy, if you actually help that, you're in big trouble. I mean, if they actually find everything that really happened in Ukraine, this country of just massive corruption, and how cool that the actor actually won. Zelensky won out over all that corrupt cabal. This is a God thing. I think God's hand that's on the United States, God's hand on Ukraine, God's hands on many countries around the world right now. And you can just see it. That's why it's such an exciting time to be alive. It's like, somebody's saying, white hats in control. I mean, that's right. It's just a beautiful thing to see the patriots in control. Here's Trump saying, my son, Donald Trump, is coming out with a new book called Triggered: How the Left Thrives on Hate and Wants to Silence Us. Available tomorrow, November 5th. A great new book that I highly recommend for all to read. Go order it today. So, hey, go to Amazon and grab. That'd be awesome to see, these white hat books going up while all these fake New York Times reports are, such as Jim Acosta's book that sold horribly and it still made the list, right? So we can continue to expose that by supporting Christian movies, by supporting books like this that are white hat books. I think if you have the monetary way to do it, support these type of things, because I think it's an amazing thing we can do. Here's in the Matrix. This is just one of the Obama administration took out Michael Flynn over an audit of the deep state. So this is another article coming out, and this is a Fox News article that came out 8 hours ago. You can see, and it's interesting. Let's just dig through this a little bit. Let me see time-wise I think we have plenty of time. Good, we do. So let's dig into this a little bit. In the new interview, the attorney for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn suggested that the Obama administration may have been out to get her client because he was investigating the so-called deep state. He has been a patriot his entire life, and to be set up and prosecuted the way he has been is just an abomination of justice, said attorney Sidney Powell on Fox News Bartiromo's Insiders on Sunday. I think it goes all the way to the top of the Obama administration, she added. And that's what I love about Sidney Powell, man. She is just kicking butt and being bold. We saw her Twitter on last night's show, right? In December of 2017, Flynn pleaded guilty to a single count of making a false statement to the FBI regarding his communications with the then Russia ambassador to the U.S., Sergei Kislyak. Powell argues that the government knew as far back as January 2017 that Flynn was not working on behalf of Russia and that she has filed legal motions to compel the government to release any exculpatory information that prosecutors may have had prior to Flynn's guilty plea. Powell has also moved to get a judge to throw the case out. Biggest part is going to be this exculpatory information, which obviously it was criminal activity on the FISA court. That's going to be coming out. So that's going to be awesome. Joining Powell on Maria Bartiromo's insiders was Lee Smith, author of the new book, The Plot Against the President, who reported that Flynn was looking into potential misconduct in the U.S. intelligence community. In addition to General Flynn's name being cleared, I hope that his initiative to get to the bottom of what these people were doing, to audit the intelligence community. Comes back to JFK, saying he needed to break up the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it into the wind, right? So auditing this to basically find the criminals there, right? That's something else we need to look at again, said Smith, as well. His initiative to clean out the deep state. So I love this. This is basically a mainstream media. Some people would even call Fox News partially controlled opposition. I don't think the Hannitys of the world are at all. In fact, there's a big push to take Hannity out again, and John Solomon, who comes on there all the time, just giving bombshell after bombshell. Smith has alleged that the Cambridge professor and reported FBI informant Stephen Halper, who organized meetings with former Trump campaign aide George Papadopoulos, was paid large sum of money by the Pentagon to study Russia and China, when in fact he was spying on the Trump campaign. That's exactly right. George Papadopoulos is another great guy to follow on Twitter. He's just putting out little tips and bombshells out there. It's awesome. I guess he was getting into business that they didn't want him to get into, said Bartiromo, in reference to Flynn's apparent interest in the intelligence community. Oh, exactly, said Powell. There's no telling how many billions of taxpayer dollars they're running off books for the different intel agencies, particularly former Obama administration CIA director. Do you love that? Here's some boldness coming from Sidney Powell. No telling how many billions of taxpayer dollars they're running off books. This is what they did. Remember, when they started funding the CIA. How did they fund the CIA initially? By selling into Harlem heroin. And so that's one of the biggest ways I like to red pill people early on. So talking about the double agents in Mockingbird Media and how to get 4 a.m. talking points, and the way the CIA funded themselves initially after World War II was to sell drugs into Harlem. They're the biggest drug runners into this country that we have. It says for different intel agencies, particularly former Obama administration CIA director and former Obama administration director of national intelligence, James Clapper. There she is calling out James Clapper and Brennan. And of course, we see evidence of that with what was paid to Stephen Halper for his shenanigans. It just goes on and on. Additionally, Powell repeated allegations that the government worked to entrap Flynn. So exactly, this was all an entrapment of Flynn, entrapment of Page, entrapment of Papadopoulos, entrapment of Trump, all around that whole deal. This is the 6 ways of Sunday that Schumer was talking about, that the CIA, that the intelligence agencies can get back at you. And they went after Trump hard. Thank goodness we had the plan. And we had the spiritual movement behind the plan. They literally planned and strategized about how to interview General Flynn to keep him relaxed and unguarded at the highest levels of the FBI. Strzok and McCabe met many times to plan it, she alleged. It was a high-level meeting to calculate and strategize about how to go about that interview to keep him unguarded and without knowing that he was the target of a criminal investigation. Smith said, this is what John Durham's inquiry is looking at, the different things that the FBI and it looks like the CIA did in its anti-Trump operation. Bartiromo asked, so is the mastermind of all this on the government side? Was it the CIA? Was it John Brennan? How far up the ladder does this go to the Obama administration? Now, there is the questions we need to ask. Now, again, I have to warn you guys, Bartiromo, if you go look, she is the Council of Foreign Relations, one of the most evil organizations ever created to control us. Cabal organization, right? So the Council of Foreign Relations, CFR, just remember the book I went over of the killing of Uncle Sam. I went over that in detail about how the CFR was created to control all the media, to control. So she's there. Now, she is definitely looking like a true patriot, but I believe because she's CFR, she could be another controlled operation. So we got to be very careful of Bartiromo. Okay, Bartiromo. Powell responded, "It couldn't have been done without Susan Rice, and I don't think it was done without the knowledge of President Obama. It was probably run by Mr. Brennan and Clapper." Bing, 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 bing. And of course, Comey and McCabe had their prominent roles in it, along with the assorted agents that were involved. But yes, it was a very high-ranking group of people. So go watch that. That is a pretty powerful article we just read there, as well as you can go see the actual interview here in the show notes. Again, go to the show notes, go to blessedtoteach.com with the 2, blessed with the number 2, teach.com to see everything that I've launched here lately. It's fun. I'm enjoying this, guys. We saw this earlier, but Praying Medic is got a new logo on here, and hey, whether you borrow them or make your own, memes are highly effective weapons in the war against the corrupt establishment and their dishonest media. I would agree with that for sure. Corruption detector. Here's some, I think I just have my Twitter open as I was looking at other things. Here's Shady Groove talking about refresher course on the treason going on in America. Please wake up. And he just got here 4 pictures. You know, here's Defendant 1. So it's got all the pictures of all these people, all these cabal-oriented people, all the way from the Bushes to the Bidens to the Obama, to Kerry, all the weed from Saudi Arabia, Debbie Walter Schultz, right? It's clear. We got Mueller, Lisa Page, got Clapper, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there is a lot of people that are going to be outed here over the next couple years, and it's going to be fun to watch the show, enjoy the show with our popcorn, right? The crimes of the people below are fully documented, and they will face justice for their gravest violation of journalistic ethics in history. It says these mainstream media reporters took payments from Hillary advisors to deliver her talking points. So here's all these people from the Mockingbird media. This is the thing that they are true enemy to the people. This is the thing that I just cannot wait till God judges them, exposes them completely, and brings truth back in the media. That is going to be a beautiful time when that happens. That is going to be so exciting. I think he had one more picture. Let me see what else the picture. Here he had this Andrew McCabe fired, Josh Campbell fired, James Baker fired, John Carlin fired, Peter Strzok fired, Maher McCord fired, Mike Corton and Michael Steinbach and David Loffman and Randy Coleman and Sally Yates and John, Galcione and Rachel Brand and Trisha Anderson, all fired. All right, so we are going to have a clean FBI and clean DOJ for the most part now. And tell you what, somebody said, my parents live in Idaho. I live there too. And that's interesting because that's where I grew up. I was born in Pocatello, Idaho, actually. Big announcement coming soon. OAN will be launching a new worldwide service that has been offered before. That's never been offered before. Stay tuned. So hopefully, Mark Taylor talks about this one. Where are my millionaires and my billionaires? Why are we not buying up these media companies? And so just the fact that OAN's doing some new things here is cool. And I just look forward to seeing, again, the stench in the nostrils that Mark talked about in the prophecy, or God talked about in Mark's prophecy, of the lack of truth in the media. And to see that truth come back is going to be a revolutionary moment of century proportions. It's like, whoa, it is going to be awesome. Here's another meme. It says, so you think you know the real Donald Trump? Do you know? Donald Trump sheltered Jennifer Hudson rent-free after her family was murdered. Donald Trump sued the city of Palm Beach when he brought a segregated club, Mar-a-Lago, to open it to Jews and blacks. Donald Trump paid to ensure a Mexican-American boy would graduate from college when he saw a news story about his terminally ill mom. Donald Trump dispatched his plane to fly a sick Jewish boy for special care when he heard no airline would accommodate his medical equipment. Donald Trump sent $10,000 to hero bus driver Darnell Barton after seeing a news story about how he saved a woman from jumping off a bridge. Donald Trump gave the job of constructing Trump Tower to Barbara Ress, making her the first woman in history to build a skyscraper. Actions speak louder than words. Sometimes beneath the rough exterior, there's a heart of gold. It's exactly right. The mainstream media, the true enemy of the people, the way they're portraying this man is a shame, an absolute shame. And I cannot wait until they are judged for their inappropriate actions. So again, if you want to see all the show notes I gave you, you're going to come right here and you can find them right here. It's easy just to go to the front page of blessed2teach.com, the blessed with the number 2 teach.com. Come down here and you can sign right up for the email list. You can see I am on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, and iTunes as well. And if you go down to the bottom, you will be able to see a lot more stuff as well as all my social media contacts. There is a Patreon and PayPal. I really appreciate everybody that's really helped sustain me here. This is where you would also see the t-shirt. We have a new t-shirt that I think is live. I haven't even let anybody know about this yet. This is the first time I've told you about it. It's a new winning design on a Trump 2020, right? So that's kind of fun. So I'm doing this is fun for me. By the time I pay for the design contest, right, and these designs and for my technical staff to get all these ready, I'm really not making much money on this at all. But it'll give me a store, and it's fun, I think, for us to do unique designs that you cannot find anywhere else. So this is a new design that was made just for us. Voted by the people in the Facebook group, right? It's the Blessed to Teach Facebook group, not the page. It's the group. They're the ones. So we're going to do a random contest. There's only, I think, 10 or 12 people voted this time. So that's going to be a pretty good ratio. Somebody's going to win a free t-shirt. But there's also hoodies as well, by the way, that are really nice. They got premium hoodies too, a little more expensive. But they have the regular hoodies and they've got premium hoodies, which are extremely high quality. And I think it's just kind of fun to see all these cool designs. So it says Trump 2Q2Q. And it looks like a lot of people have different interpretations of this. To me, it's like the Second Amendment and a gun. Other people are saying, no, it's like a comb, like his hair. So, but I just thought that was an incredibly unique design and cool. You also can go to Backstage as well as the Cultural Impact. That's where you would go to, same as frustratedwithculture.com, where you can get into the workshop with me. That starts Wednesday. All right, Backstage is the new where now Gene's going to be out for 3 weeks, and so there won't be a lot of exclusive content, but Searchy is awesome to be able to search through everything. I think you'll really enjoy the Backstage experience, and it's really cheap right now. I held this open for one more day for one person that asked, because this will all go back to the regular price tomorrow. So this is the last, basically tomorrow night is when I'll be pulling down this October special. It's not, you can't have specials and have them last 4 days after the month, but where I'm doing that for one person right now, the extra day from the 3rd to the 4th. So anyway, that's the last chance to get the 50% off of the Backstage. But anyway, guys, I'm really enjoying this. I hope you are in this new expanded experience I'm trying to get into. Again, I think I've told you that I'm not a pastor. I'm a businessman that loves the Lord and loves to teach the Bible, and so I will continue on this path. I just don't want to be dependent on donations. I want to be dependent on adding value to you, and that's what I'm focusing on, is adding value to Christian patriots. That's my passion. That's my love. And you get all this information for free, get my show notes for free, etc. And but those of you who find all these other things I'm doing as value added, then awesome. Hopefully I won't have to travel as a consultant the rest of my life, and hopefully I'll be able to replace my income to where I can do one job versus two right now. Now here we go. Let's read an Operation Mockingbird. I'm sorry, Operation C. Let My People Go by Mark on July of 2016. So again, this is before the election. Obviously, here is swordrescue.com where you can find all his prophecies. This is a little 3-paragraph one. Let's read it. The Spirit of God says, when Donald Trump is elected, a sign will be given. The earth shall quake because of who I have selected. It's a shift in the power structure that is taking place. And another sign will be given when it falls without grace. A lightning strike and a great wind shall topple the so-called great monument, and they will not be able to mend. It will be a sign that the Luciferian reign and ungodly powers are coming to an end. I've had it with time and truth that bends. When it topples and shatters the capstone the builders accepted will be exposed for all to see, and the one they rejected, who is me. For these ungodly powers, I, the Lord, will expose. From the Illuminati to the cabal, they are beginning to decompose. I love how Mark called out these names like Illuminati and cabal. For those that speak of myths of wrath to come, one creating phantasm, and they will go down to the abyss with eclecticism. The Spirit of God says, the timeline, the counterfeit timeline that they have used, you shall see it and how it's been abused. For the counterfeit timeline that they have used to lead my people astray will be exposed and seen because of my remnant people who have prayed. You people who speak with time and truth that bend, thinking you have encircled my body and sealed them in, hoping it's now their end. For you are saying they are no longer a threat, for they accepted a truth that bends. Woe to you! Forgot about my remnant, and that's my surprise. And now it's your end, and it shall be your demise. For the counterfeit spiritual compass that is pulling and magnetizing my people off course as it be will be turned back, and my true army, and pointed true north and back to me. The Spirit of God says, woe to those who have tried to enslave my people, for now I will topple your so-called steeple. It has stood for so long, that beast of old called Babylon. For this new world order that seeks to destroy forgot about my true army that's being deployed. My army rise up with a shout, for this evil reign is being exposed with clout. My army, raise up and take on this beast, and I, the Lord, will take him down to the least. For this beast is roaring and trying to intimidate through assassinations, division, and hate. Rise up, it's time to battle against the beast with extreme prejudice, and you will terminate your supreme commander, God. What I love about this is he's just really back all the way before the election was saying that that basically this deep state, the new world order, the Illuminati are all going to be exposed, and it's happening. We're seeing Mark's prophecies fulfilled right before our eyes. It'll be real interesting to see if the Washington Monument or one of those other monuments in London or in the Vatican actually collapse. That would be just a wild fulfilled prophecy there, right? But I just think that's why I like to read Mark's prophecies, because we see it happening, right? It's like, whoa, quite exciting. Again, swordrescue.com, SORD, rescue.com, if you want to go see those prophecies for free. Also, one of my favorite verses, probably the two verses that are favorite together to me, is Philippians 4, 6, and 7 of my Bible memory verses. It says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Just think about that, guys. When should we be anxious? The Lord says, do not be anxious about anything, But in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. So if we're anxious about anything, all we have to do instead is with thanksgiving, present our request to God. And what happens at that point in time? What's the promise? And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. Just think about that peace. A peace that transcends all understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Wow. What a great promise. Let me pray. Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for Philippians 4, 6, and 7 and the miracle you did with me praying that over a person many years ago. And Lord, may you just continue to do miraculous things with people, your remnant, your people that say that prayer. They know they don't have to be anxious. They just pray to you in every situation, Lord, with thanksgiving. And you will give them the peace of God that transcends all understanding. Wow, what a promise. A peace that transcends all understanding. Lord, you talk about the army of God, the remnant, Lord. And I just pray we can be that. And I pray if anybody feels called that's listening to my voice right now, they'll join me on frustratedwithculture.com. That's where I would love to work with more Christian patriots on how we can protect our children from all the lies. Lord, that we can actually learn how to red pill people better and actually be able to do that without being disrespected, and have a community where we're not lonely but we're fighting evil together, where we can eliminate the spiritual fog that's keeping people from knowing you and the righteous way of living. I just pray frustratedwithculture.com and that movement about how to win and impact the ungodly world will just be a mighty movement for you. I submit it to you. I just love these people, Lord, and would love to figure out a way to be able to serve them better. And we say these things in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, guys. Love you all. Thank you for taking time to come on the broadcast here. I didn't think I was going to be able to, but I was able to get a lot of what I needed to get done today. So I was able to sneak in another broadcast on a Monday night. And I might be able to sneak one more on tomorrow night and then travel Wednesday night. So probably will not be on Wednesday night, but I'm going to try to sneak one in tomorrow depending on how things go. But God bless you all, and you have an awesome night.